Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we are going to be returning with the previews for Hull City as we take on Sunderland at home this weekend. So let's waste no time and let's get straight into things. So yes guys, AFL Championship action returned last week for the Tigers as we drew 0-0 to Watford. But yeah, we're going to go through all that in a second, but first of all it's going to be table positions and also the past head-to-heads between the two teams. So yes guys, now you've seen all that, I'm going to give you my thoughts going into the game. I think, it's going to be a pretty tight game. Sunderland were unlucky to lose against West Brom during the midweek. Ahmed Diallo scoring for them. He's a very good player on loan for Manchester United. Very good player indeed, and one we need to watch out for. And Hull City drew 0-0 to Watford, which was a pretty good point for us. It wasn't the best of games. Stop-start, and yeah, both teams had chances and to win it. So yeah, I think we did play. I know it was a stop-start game, but I thought we played a lot better than we had under our previous manager. Seems to be getting better. There's passing out from the back football, and yeah, it doesn't help with us having Dimitrov Pelkas out injured for about 10 to 12 weeks, and that doesn't help, but we hopefully can get through that. The January transfer window opens in a couple of weeks, so hopefully we can get a replacement in for him. And yeah, Oscar Stupinan comes back as well, having come back from his suspension, so that's going to be good for us. Still one of the league's top scorers, so it's good. And he's missed 3 games, and I think didn't score in so many games either. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very tough game. Sunderland, they've got a very experienced Championship manager, Tony Mowbray, who last few seasons ago, Blackburn, they were pushing to go up, but they didn't manage it. So yeah, I think we should look out for Sunderland really. But yeah, I think our home form definitely needs to be improved. Definitely, our away form is pretty good at the minute, but we need to get our home form back and good again. So teams fear coming to the MK Stadium, and yeah, hopefully we can do that on Saturday. And yeah, my score prediction is going to be a 2-1 Hull City win. I'm going to go for Oscar, and I'll say Tyler Smith because I don't know who's going to play. So Oscar and Tyler Smith, and for Sunderland is a Man United loanee, Ahmed Diallo. So yeah, now we're going to move on to the next part of the video. So yes, now we're going to talk to Adam from the Shipyard Cat podcast. So yeah, here he is.
Hello, my name is Adam. I am the host of the podcast The Shipyard Cat. You can find me directly on Twitter at AdamJamesKane92, or you can follow the podcast at The Shipyard Cat. How's Sunderland been this season? Well, how do we put it? We've been a bit hit and miss. But being from League One for the last 4 years, you can tell sometimes we are a League One squad. You wouldn't have thought potentially we would be the position where we are now, trying to win games or holding on for the wins that we do. In retrospect of say when we played Reading, we beat Reading 3-0, was an exceptional performance start to finish. We can just only but hope to look at improving the mentality of the club, get the things there, have a solid January, bring in a few new recruits, see where we can build on. And to me personally speaking, and a few of the lads on my podcast agree, we can see us gaining strength to strength. We have a few players out, the likes of Dan Ballard, Ross Stewart, hoping to see them fit and ready for the game as soon as possible. I know Roscoe is potentially being told that he's lined up for a bench appearance against yourselves, Hull. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of it and see where we can build on. And I look at it as a nice little advantage to ourselves of other teams around us, or other teams in the league, should I say, may come and have that injury, where we won't hopefully have that mentality. We'll have those players back and ready to rock and roll, so to speak, coming into the next league. In regards, how do I feel for Tony Mowbray? To me, Tony Mowbray is a coup. It's one of those types of managers that you all want, you don't think you're going to get, and then when you get him, he's a good manager for this league. I've had no fair qualms about him. Same for Alex Neil. I understand why he's went. It was just frustrating the way he did leave, which was upsetting really, but bygones be bygones. But with Mowbray, you've got him at the helm, who's been a comfortable championship manager. He's managed some good teams like Blackburn, Middlesbrough. Obviously didn't get them where they wanted to be, which was obviously a promotion and getting back into the Premier League. But he has always maintained a good clean slate and a good high position for those said teams. Is he the man to take us all the way to the Premier League? Time will tell. Nobody really can say yes or no on that matter at the moment. But who knows? He knows what he wants in the club. He knows his position in the club. And I believe in the press conference, he was asked about a few players coming in or some players going out. And he's just turned around and said, that's my conversation to have with the board, myself, and speak to the essentially the bosses. He doesn't want obviously to talk to the press about it, same as when I believe our transfer budget last transfer window, well obviously we brought in like the Sims, but our transfer budget wasn't disclosed and it wasn't out there in the media, because obviously once you disclose it, you want to then know what's what, and everyone's wanting to say, right, how much have you spent here, how much have you spent there. So I like that about Mowbray. He keeps himself reserved. Obviously just watching these match previews, I don't know if you've seen them yourself, but they're quite unique. Talks about revels, talks about having just always, he's always got food regardless, and I think that's another one of the things we all like about Mowbray. He's just never a dull moment, shall we say. Players that Hull should be aware of going forward when we play against yourselves, it all depends really. It depends on who's going to have their day, shall we say. Diallo is definitely the biggest one. Ahmad, massive goal scoring rich form at the moment. He's 3-3. The kid just can't stop scoring at the moment. He's always wants to run with the ball. The only shameful for ourselves was previous game against West Brom. I think he just burnt himself out a little too early in the game. First half, he just ran himself ragged, and obviously won the penalty and then finished it, which was really good. So yeah, I would watch out for him. If Ross is back, I would say possibly he's a big target man to look out for. Sims is trying to emulate this at the minute, so it's good to see that Sims is in and amongst it, which is nice to see. Other talk, Clark. If Clark's on Jack Clark, if he's on his day, to be honest, he's virtually unplayable against. If you try and take a challenge on him, it'll just skip past you and go from there. Bench wise, it depends who we decide to bring on or who we try and emulate. So like Patrick Roberts has been another little telltale force for us, but the way Ahmad just came onto his own, started scoring and started playing really well, it's been a good headache for Mowbray, and it's one that he has talked about in depth, saying when you've got one of the best players in the championship in Patrick Roberts and he's not playing game time, something or someone is surely proven to be better than him, and at the minute that is Ahmad, showing that he has got that. In regards to Hull, I'll be completely honest with yourselves. I haven't seen yourselves much play, but from when I've been keeping an eye on the results, it's been here and there. You've got the wins where you needed them, and sometimes, unfortunately, lost certain games. I know you've been winning games as well, and then going behind, and the kind of team didn't know what to do. Similar to ourselves, really, it's just one of those hit and miss things. Teams turn up when you least expect it, or the teams will start a time waste to frustrate the team and then go and capitalise on that frustration. So it's one of those things. I'll be completely honest, I haven't seen much of yourself, so obviously it's one thing I'm looking into for our podcast there. We're trying to find the danger men that I need to be wary of and things like that, because I know Hull previous time in Premier League had good, solid, strong defensive mentality and things like that. Whether that's progressed on further down this division, I'm not too sure. And finally, a score prediction for myself. Obviously, I'll root for the boys. I'm going to probably be quite reserved and say around about a 2-1. Yeah, 2-1 feel for myself, I think. I think we've just got just about ourselves that we can nick probably a goal, whether it be early on or not. And then I think you guys will apply the pressure that I know Hull can or has always provided. And then I think, a second will be nice. If Ross is starting, if Ross is coming off the bench, I think it'll be a nice little welcome back from if he does get a goal. But I'd more than likely say the goal will probably more than likely come from a mad first one. So yeah, we'll wait and see. And thank you very much for allowing me to speak on behalf of the Shipyard Cat. Thank you.
Thank you to Adam for coming on the channel. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I've been Ken Webster. Please leave a like, comment your prediction for this game. Do you think Hull will win, or do you think Sunderland will win, or do you think it'll be a draw? Please let me know down in the comments. And yeah, if you want to subscribe, if you are new, then please do. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to reach 300 and we're not far off at all. I think we're about 3 or 4 off at the minute. So to have 300 by Christmas would be amazing. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I've been Ken Webster, and I'll see you all again very soon. Peace.